Today, we're cozying up with a really fantastic fiction romance book. It's called Mistletoe and Memos by Audrey Stone.
And it's the perfect entry point, really, into her Havenbrook Christmas romance series.
It is, and this story, it's not just a simple holiday fling.
Oh, not at all. This
Yeah.
is a high-stakes, deeply rooted battle for the heart and soul of a small town.
Exactly. We're getting into that classic trope, community spirit just running head-on into corporate efficiency.
And it's all set against this incredibly evocative backdrop, the Cornish coast, right at its busiest, most festive time of year.
So our mission today is to give you a completely spoiler-free roadmap.
Yeah, we're not giving anything away.
We're going to focus on the central conflict, the really electric character dynamics, and all the little small-town details that just make this story work so well.
Right. We need to understand why this book, set in this charming town of Havenbrook, offers that perfect blend of, high-stakes conflict and a romance that feels genuinely earned.
It really does feel earned.
And at its core, you're diving into a story about integrity, about boundaries. It's asking, can a fiercely protective community keep its identity when outside money comes in?
And not just money, but money with strings attached. Big strings.
Suffocating strings. It's basically an ultimatum.
Okay.
So I think we have to start with the setting, with Havenbrook itself.
I agree.
Because it's not just scenery in this
Yeah.
book. It's an active participant. It's a character.
Okay, let's unpack that then. This sense of place. We're in Havenbrook, Cornwall,
Right.
which, right away that signals history, coastal beauty, a kind of resilience. But it's not your typical sleepy seaside village.
The book establishes it as this hub of creativity and learning.
Mhm.
It actually has a renowned university that specializes in marine sciences.
And that's such a fascinating choice by the author, isn't it?
It's a brilliant strategic choice.
Mm-hmm.
That juxtaposition of high-level, future-focused academia with this deeply rooted artisan culture.
Right. It tells you the town is sophisticated, they get cutting-edge tech, and they value handmade tradition.
Exactly. And you see that in the creative quarter.
Yeah, it's detailed so well. The galleries, the craft shops, all celebrating traditional Cornish crafts.
It's not just for tourists either. It's a real commitment to preservation.
So the town's core values are what? Tradition, skill, curiosity.
In a sense of shared purpose that goes beyond just economics. They're forward-thinking, but they are fiercely protective of where they come from.
And this dedication is not just aesthetic, it's like built into the town's operations.
Oh, yeah. The book mentions their sustainability initiatives. They have community-owned wind farms, innovative recycling programs.
See, that's not just flavor text. That establishes a really deep-rooted civic identity.
It does.
These are active participants, not just people having things decided for them somewhere else.
Right. So when an external force, like a corporation, threatens to homogenize their festival, that resistance isn't just nostalgia. It's backed by this history of community effort, of owning their own resources.
They build things to last, locally.
Which makes the arrival of a corporate fixer whose whole deal is aggressive efficiency and imported solutions a true ideological challenge. It's local soul versus a sterile spreadsheet.
And the single event that wraps all of this up, the spirit, the economics, is the Havenbrook Christmas Festival.
The crown jewel of their whole year.
Its cultural importance, its financial importance, it's critical. This is their public face, their collective pride, and it's how a lot of local businesses make their money for the year.
And the person in charge of it all, our protagonist, Leela Laval, sees it as their social Everest.
A social Everest. I love that. So let's talk about Leela. She's the passionate event lead, the gatekeeper of this whole thing.
Fiercely protective.
Yeah.
And we get this really vivid image of her commitment right from page 1.
The invitations.
The invitations. She is handwriting hundreds of them on paper with the lush tooth of old library cards.
That one small detail, it tells you everything. Her commitment to authenticity, even if it's inefficient.
She's doing things the hard way, risking, as she puts it, carpal tunnel, because the result is more genuine. It's a keepsake, not just corporate marketing.
But she's already dreading something, isn't she?
And
Even before the bad news hits. Her coworker, Poppy, points out this low thrum of dread she has.
She knows. She anticipates the challenge, and then bam, the financial meteor hits.
The bad news first moment.
Swift and devastating. Their primary sponsor, Haven Corp, has done a runner.
And a quarter of the entire budget is just gone.
Just gone.
And for a festival this size, 25% isn't an inconvenience, it's catastrophic.
It's the shuttle routes, it's security, it's the livelihoods of dozens of local vendors and their families.
So the stakes become existential immediately. They can't postpone.
No way. Too much is already in motion.
Yeah.
And Leela says it herself. Half the town staked on this, the other half wants to see it fail.
Ooh, that's rough. So she's not just fighting a financial crisis, she's fighting skepticism from within her own community.
Which just amplifies the pressure on her tenfold. And it leads them to the only viable but
Mm.
morally terrifying alternative.
Approaching the Morrison family.
The powerful, notoriously aggressive Morrisons.
And the idea comes from the community matriarch, Mrs. Nadia Garnier, and Dr. Armand Haddad, the treasurer.
Right, Armin is the numbers guy. He sees them as the only ones with deep enough pockets, despite their reputation.
But Mrs. Garnier, who's seen it all, she immediately draws the line in the sand. She gives them their mantra.
The community first, always.
That phrase just becomes the ethical litmus test for the entire rest of the book, doesn't it?
It's everything. If they take this money, it has to be on their terms. The money has to serve Havenbrook's values, not the other way around.
And that boundary gets tested almost immediately. The email arrives.
The ominous email. Subject, urgent. Gallup Partnership Opportunity. Signed by Kane Morrison, COO.
And the moment the email lands, the battle lines are officially drawn. The stage is set for the corporate scion.
The family fixer.
Okay, so Jake Morrison enters the picture, but we don't meet him in Havenbrook.
No, we meet him worlds away, in a glass tower in London.
The visual is just perfect.
Yeah.
Late nights in a sterile, glass-walled corner office.
Pouring a protein shake into a whiskey tumbler.
That detail is such brilliant character shorthand, isn't it?
It's everything. He's disciplined, he's isolated, he's projecting this sophistication, the tumbler over the reality of his relentless efficiency, the shake.
He runs a portfolio, not a pantomime, as he calls it.
He is completely disconnected from his small-town roots. He is so focused on performance reviews and efficiency that he's actually, like, craving some human drama.
He imagines an ex-employee setting the building on fire just to feel something.
He is a machine, and he's not going back to Havenbrook because he wants to. It's an obligation.
He gets called back by his cousin, Kane.
Kane Morrison, 3 years older, but as Jake thinks, 0 years wiser.
And Kane tells him the family covenants require blood on the ground in Havenbrook.
And Jake is the only one available who doesn't, quote, look like a Dickensian loan shark.
So he's the reluctant, nice Morrison, which is already a suspicious label in a town like Havenbrook.
His job is pure PR, damage control. Shake hands, kiss babies, cut a ribbon or two.
All to secure investment and legacy for the Morrison name.
And he knows it. He knows he's the lightning rod and the storm shelter for his family's aggressive moves. He's the palatable face for a hostile takeover.
And this is crucial. He's got this internal struggle going on. He admits to himself, I'm not sure I make good things these days.
And that's the hook, isn't it? That little seed of doubt. It prevents him from being a flat villain.
It shows that the potential for redemption is already there. He's tired of fixing a system he's starting to question.
And that personal struggle just explodes when he finds out who the gatekeeper of Havenbrook's social Everest is.
Leela Laval.
They have a history, a deep, unresolved past connection right there in Havenbrook.
The book hints at it so well. Childhood pranks, midnight walks.
And a blackout where touch is treacherous, muscle remembers what pride forgets.
This is where it gets really good. They're not strangers fighting over a spreadsheet.
No. They're former confidants, almost lovers, forced to co-chair this event while dealing with all this intense, lingering chemistry.
Leland knows it's a high-wire act.
The stakes immediately become emotional, not just financial. That shared history means every disagreement is magnified by years of unspoken stuff. They know exactly how to push each other's buttons.
And we see it immediately in that first council meeting. It's a total clash of ideologies.
Leila lays out her vision. We build from the heart out.
It's all about the local vendor-only market, the lantern procession, amplifying what's best about us, not what can be bought in bulk.
And then you have Sienna Clark, the sponsor lead, who is pure corporate mindset.
She wants to streamline vendors, create an exclusive corporate zone, get naming rights.
She wants to position Havenbrook as a destination, not a backwater. It's authenticity versus marketability.
And Jake's first move is exactly what Leela feared. It's soulless.
Pure data. He proposes cutting vendor density by 15% and carving out this massive legacy suite for VIPs.
He argues it's the only financially sound option.
Okay, but let me play devil's advocate here for a second.
Go for it.
If the town is really facing a total financial collapse without this money, isn't Jake's soulless plan the only thing that guarantees the event even happens?
That's a fair point. Is Leela, with all her idealism, being financially reckless?
It's the central dilemma, and it's why the conflict is so good. Leela accuses him of trying to gate the magic.
And he would argue his gates are necessary for survival. Leela sees them as fences to keep the real community out.
And the book is smart about it. Jake really does believe his plan is the only way to save the framework. Leela argues that successful event without its soul isn't a success at all.
It's practicality versus principle.
Which leads to the only possible outcome from the council. The forced hybrid solution.
They have to co-lead.
Maximum forced proximity. It's perfect.
So the council forces them together, and Jake, surprisingly, signals his first little shift. He doesn't just go with Sienna's full corporate plan.
Right. He proposes a hybrid model. He brings in safety and scalability measures.
Widening the main aisle for crowd flow, which Armin was worried about.
But he also reduces the sponsor footprint a bit. He's showing he can be flexible, but he's still thinking like a businessman.
And this is where I think he starts to pivot. He gives Leela a challenge, a business challenge.
He does. He basically says, you want to win, source more vendors, prove there's demand for your authentic vision, and I will back you.
He's forcing her to put community spirit to the market test.
Which elevates the whole conflict. He's not dismissing her passion anymore. He's asking for proof that it's viable.
But the pressure keeps building. Other sponsors are threatening to pull out, and Leela's whole narrative of community support is on the verge of imploding.
And this is where all those small local details really start to shine, is how the community actually fights back.
The shuttle showdown.
The shuttle showdown is so charming. When the shuttle budget gets pulled, it's a huge problem. It affects seniors, people who live further out.
The situation looks critical, but Jake, working outside his usual corporate box, teams up with Noah, the local engineer.
And they crowdsource the gas money. They let local businesses adopt a route.
They turn a logistical failure into a competitive community rally. It's brilliant.
They're weaponizing civic pride. Naming the shuttles after the donors. Major Tom's Bakery, the Blue Anchor Pub. It's so direct, so visible. A total counter to the sterile corporate model.
It creates a whole new narrative. The community isn't being subsidized. They are investing in themselves.
And the town's response is just perfect. That social media caption from Tess Nantes. Powered by civic rage.
It shows them using humor and pride to push back. It's a unifying moment.
But the battle quickly becomes a full-on war over the narrative, specifically over the Lantern Walk.
The beating heart of the festival.
And Leela finds out the sponsor's social media channel has auto-posted a branding graphic right over images of the walk.
Which is just a total violation of what it stands for.
It's the critical moment. The walk is about history, community involvement, hope. Branding it compromises everything. It violates the community-first mantra.
So Leela has to make her stand, risking it all.
She gives Sienna an ultimatum.
A completely uncompromising one. If you don't take it down, the entire Lantern Walk goes dark. I'll do it myself.
And then the killer line. You get nothing but a refund and the world's shortest legacy plaque.
She is willing to sacrifice the cash to protect the symbol.
It proves she's the true gatekeeper. For Leela, the loss of money is better than the loss of soul. It's a moral victory that cements her character for the reader.
And we have to talk about the chaos, too. The fudge cart drama.
The fudge cart drama. I love that. He's probably some vendor dispute over the best spot or an electrical issue, and Leela has to play diplomat over something so small but so essential.
And the router necromancy with Noah.
A fantastic phrase. It points to the reality of running a huge event on a shoestring, relying on local genius to keep the Wi-Fi from crashing. It's messy, but it's theirs.
Then comes the ultimate test, a gale warning, right before the event.
Devastating. The whole Lantern Walk has to be moved indoors.
And the sponsors see their chance. Sienna and Kane try to leverage it to enforce brand parity. They think desperation will make the town finally give in.
They assume the community will just fold. But Leela, who now has the council's full backing and Jake's quiet support, she makes her final, brilliant move.
She refuses to let it become a consolation prize.
She uses that moment of chaos to solidify local ownership. She invites the crowd, the disheartened, sad crowd, to paint their own names, their own wishes on new blank lanterns.
She tells them, the walk is already gone, Leela, but the story isn't.
It's so powerful. It's about adapting. It's about reinforcing the emotional tradition when the physical one is impossible.
And that final indoor event, cramped, imperfect, with a warming corridor and an improvised choir, it's this victory for flawed but undeniable community spirit.
It proves the heart of Havenbrook can't be boxed up or branded.
And Jake's role in this is so important, his final action.
Yes, his last-minute public apology to Leela and his pledge to match all donations. He's using his family's money for good, effectively sidelining their aggressive demands.
It's the final piece of his redemption arc.
He chooses the messy, beautiful reality of Havenbrook over the sterile world of his family's business. He becomes a builder, not just a fixer. He aligns himself with the community.
Okay, so let's talk about why you, the reader, will love this book.
For romance fans, it just nails the enemies to lovers trope, but with this added layer of deep roots.
The forced proximity is electric because their fights over spreadsheets and safety codes are always simmering with their shared history and chemistry.
Exactly. And the conflict isn't just about who's right. It's about this secret, grudging respect they have for each other's work ethic and integrity.
Their alliance against the more aggressive corporate pressure, it's built on that mutual respect.
Jake sees that Leela is fighting for something real, something more than a balance sheet.
And Leela sees that Jake is fighting against his own family legacy and maybe himself to protect her vision. The payoff is so earned.
Right, so when he finally chooses to side with her, it's not just a declaration of love. It's a commitment to a shared future based on shared values. He's changed his identity, not just his address.
Which leads right into that core theme of redemption and legacy.
Jake's journey is just so satisfying. He comes back as the fixer who wants a quick PR win.
And he leaves as the builder who wants to support the town on Leela's terms, not his family's.
And that final public statement he makes is the emotional climax. I don't want to fix Havenbrook, I want to live in it.
Goosebumps?
The walk, the lanterns, the tradition itself, that's off limits. It's yours. It's always been yours.
It's a complete rejection of his corporate mandate. He finally belongs somewhere. Not because of profit, but because of shared effort.
The book also delivers so well on the heartwarming small-town chaos.
It really does, which is a must-have for a good holiday romance.
All the details feel so authentic. The fight over the jazz quartet's playlist.
The blood orange cake that becomes a diplomatic incident.
The endless fudge cart drama. The choir singing through a gale. It all feels real because the problems are tangible and, sometimes a little absurd.
Anyone who's ever been on a town committee will recognize that chaos instantly.
And it makes it clear this isn't just a love story between two people. It's a love story between Leela and her town.
And the ending is just so satisfying. After the storm, literal and metaphorical, they're united.
And they don't just solve the one crisis. They commit to a future. They join the new oversight committee, committed to building the next walk with no more fighting.
Jake finds his home, not in a glass tower, but right there in Havenbrook, with the gatekeeper who challenged him to be better.
It's a perfect full-circle moment.
So Mistletoe and Memos is, it's so much more than a simple holiday romance.
It really is.
It's a wonderfully detailed story about finding magic in the mess, about fighting for what matters, and finding love along the way.
If you enjoy a small-town Christmas setting where the hero has a genuine, hard-won redemption arc, and the heroine is this witty, determined gatekeeper who just refuses to sell out,
then this book is absolutely for you.
I think the core takeaway, really, is that sometimes the story isn't about the magic you lose. Sometimes it's about the people who show up to keep the lights on.
Yeah. That eventual walk, imperfect and indoors, it proves that the messy, chaotic heart of a community wins out over cold corporate efficiency every single time. And this book is a fantastic start to the Havenbrook Christmas Romance series. You can find Mistletoe and Memos and start exploring that world by visiting silvergravitybooks.com.
I think the final provocative thought the book leaves us with is this. When the old walk is gone, when it's physically destroyed by circumstance, and the way forward is unclear.
What price are we really willing to pay to protect the light of that tradition?
And maybe more personally, can a romance that's built entirely on fighting for a principle find a way to become a legacy?